everybody, and welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. I am your host, John. With me today are three fine folks of many talents. You got Chris. You're 3 for 3 so far, aren't you?
That's 3 in a row, baby.
I feel. Do you have like a punch card, or are you expecting us to give you like something for free? Because I mean, I don't know how much of a budget we have to do that, but I don't know. Do you want like an ice cream sundae or something?
Nah, I get 10 in a row. I buy myself a hamburger.
All right. I mean, you should just buy yourself a hamburger whenever you feel like it. You know, it's that kind of time. You know, just live a little bit.
That is true.
Yeah. Elvie, you're here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Do not have a streak.
Well, that's okay. Yeah. What kind of item would you want to get for a streak, though? What item would you have if you were on here? 10
a lot of
in a row?
food places have been like making people like install apps for their like kind of replacing the traditional. But the only places that I still see use like a paper punch card are like bubble tea places. So I think a classic like give me a free bubble tea after I hit like 10, 5, That's a good steal. I think that's in lieu of the tradition of the punch card, right?
Sure. I mean, you've been on like a bunch of Chuchigatari episodes in a row, so I think that's worth something. Go get yourself a boba tea to celebrate that.
Definitely.
And Solon, you're here as well.
Do any of you need any toilet paper?
I'm pretty good.
I'm good.
Maybe.
I have so much toilet paper, and I don't know what happened. But I was in the grocery store, and I got to the toilet paper aisle, and everything went really fuzzy, and all of a sudden I was checked out with so much toilet paper.
How many?
So it's your fault.
Sometimes you just have to excessively wipe. It's okay.
Well, you know how, you're not supposed to go to the grocery store hungry, or else you'll buy a lot of food?
Did you go to the grocery store with a shitty ass?
Well, no. No. What?
Okay.
I don't know. It's... Panic was real.
Okay.
And I got home and realized I had bought toilet paper 2 weeks ago. And now I have 20 extra large rolls of toilet paper.
Is it 2-ply or what's the deal?
That's the
store
important
brand.
question.
I don't know. It was the only thing on the shelf.
So it's garbage that your finger just pokes through and goes right into your asshole.
No. I've used this. I've used this store brand before. I trust it. It'll be safe.
Okay.
No chafing here.
It's sturdy.
No chafing here. We don't allow that.
And we can fold.
Yeah,
we can always fold.
Okay.
You can always fold.
Anyway, video games?
Yes, of course. Folks, it is a harrowing time right now. I am not going to beat around the bush, but today, Video Game Choo Choo is here to talk about video games, bring a little bit of levity. We're going to talk about some serious stuff at times as well, of course. But we are here to entertain you. We are here to bring you together. Things around the world are harsh right now, but Video Game Choo Choo, on the Choo Choo train, we all ride together. That is what is important. Whee! So, all of us, let us join together and talk about some video games. Solon, it has been a hot minute since you've been on. Is that correct?
That is correct. It's been since PAX East. I went to PAX East and they never heard from me for 3 weeks.
It has been 3 weeks. So Solon, would you like to check in with us and tell us a little bit about some games that you've been playing?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's been a really good 3 weeks. I'm gonna put a post out very, very soon, if I hadn't by the time this comes out, on all of the PAX East games that I played, because that place has hundreds of games inside of it, and I had to play all of them so that I could make a list of the best ones. It was a lot of work, but it was an incredible fest, and we all had a great time, and it was very clean and sanitary. But
that's good.
So that was nice. On the other side, I'm still because they pushed out Final Fantasy VII Remake, we've been filling the space with other Final Fantasy games, and so we played Final Fantasy Type 0, which I did not like at all. It was actually not fun to play.
It's a weird fucking game. It is definitely a mobile game, and if you try to play it in a way that is like a serious Final Fantasy, that game is hot garbage, but if you actually just sit down and play it in chunks, it's great.
Right. When we played it all in one setting, the entire time I was just like, God, I kind of wish I was playing Persona. But I don't really like Persona. So it's,
Damn.
we
All right.
washed it down with Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, which I had been told was a baby easy game that you should just avoid because it's not worth anything. But they were wrong.
Yo, that soundtrack is incredible.
It's really good. I was shocked. I was shocked to see that this was a game that combined some of my favorite old Final Fantasies kind of all in one place. It felt like Final Fantasy Adventure, which was a very Zelda-esque Game Boy game, and it combined that with the Final Fantasy Journey? No, what is it called? The Saga series.
Mhm.
That
The Final
group of
Fantasy
games.
Legend.
Thank you. Yes, the Legends. It just combined those two in a way that I was just like, what are you talking about? This is easy. This isn't easy. This is just clean and consistent to play. And they give you power-ups to rotate your weapons out consistently. It felt like a modern game. It had like very modern design choices to it that I could see like at the time, maybe they just thought that was super easy because they were used to bad design. I did not know or understand where the criticism is that this was a baby easy game, because Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is incredible. It was probably one of the cleanest Final Fantasy playthroughs we've ever had, where it was just like, oh, we don't need a walkthrough because the next like dungeon is right next to the current one we're at, and they have like a tower hub that you go through 4 or 5 times that every time a new exit opens, it's clearly labeled and it takes you to the next like chunk of areas to go to. And it was just like, yeah, this is just modern design. This is how Dark Souls does all their fun tricks. You just loop the dungeon around and it takes you back to the front right at the end of it every time. It was cool. That was a very nice way to wash down what was a very obtuse and unfinished Final Fantasy Type 0.
Tell us a little bit more about that one.
So, Type 0. Oh, it's a game that is so easy to solve because the solution is if you use any of the ranged characters, you can just stay out of combat at all times and let your AI tank the damage for you. This is a Tabata game like Final Fantasy 15 and what was the other PSP one he did? Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core, which are very action-heavy games, kind of Kingdom Hearts feeling. But this one just kind of is in the worst pit of between both of those. Like, Crisis Core has this very arcadey type of feel to it, and Final Fantasy 15 feels really robust. And this was just Type 0 is the kind of game where they want you to play with a lot of these different systems, but you don't have to interact with any of them because there's just a simple solution, and that is using any of the ranged characters to cheese any fight that you want. Which would have been fine and would have been great if there was like a robust social interaction system. Type 0 is a game where you play like as 15 different classmates all at once. They are all labeled by card names, so you have like the ace and the 2 deuce, and 3 and the king and the queen and the jack, those kinds of things. But we could not find in our single playthrough much interaction between everyone because it is kind of trapped between you have to look for certain like key triggers that activate certain conversations down the line, and you also have to beat the game multiple times in order to unlock more of the story and more of the paths. And so it just felt like a game that you didn't want to finish. You didn't want to play this multiple times because that would mean you'd have to interact with how unfinished this game is more than once. And so it was just like this thing where it's like, I see where you're going with this, and I don't think you are ever going to reach that point, which we now know has become the Tabata curse, with Final Fantasy 15 being a game that has only just recently finished, and nobody is going to play that finished version because they already played the unfinished Final Fantasy 15 when it came out.
And they didn't even finish. They just canceled what was left, which was the only stuff that I was actually like super interested in.
I know. It builds you up to this place where you're like, okay, I'm ready for you to twist the story on its head. And then instead of doing that, it just kind of flatly ends in a place that is kind of a twist, but it doesn't do anything that like really, impacts you and makes you want to play the whole story a whole nother time just to figure out, oh, so is everyone really alive or is everyone really dead this whole time? Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I know there's a lot of folks that are really big fans of this game, and I don't want to totally destroy it because I did not engage with it to the fullest extent that you can engage with it. And if folks really got something out of that because they did, then that's great. That is really great for them. I just couldn't see myself pushing through playing it again and again when the core combat system just didn't really feel all that engaging.
Yeah, that's 100% true on that thing. Like as I said, it's definitely the worst thing they could have done was make it not a mobile game. Like,
yeah,
if it had come out on the Vita as the only version of it, so that you're tempted to just, okay, I'm just going to do this one quest that takes 10 minutes, and then I'm going to put it down and come back to it later, it's a great game. But when you actually sit down and play 5, 10, 15 missions in a row, it's just like, this is so fucking boring. It's the same thing over and over and over again, because that's what it was designed for. It's designed to sit down and play for a 10-minute, maybe like 45-minute max chunk.
Yep.
And like as a whole game, it just does not work.
Yeah. Speaking of Final Fantasy, just to keep everything quarantined to its own zone, I played the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo.
Okay.
And
I think most of us did, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That shit's good.
Jesse's real horny for Cloud.
I mean, so is everybody else in the
yeah.
fucking
I know,
world.
it's such a big mood.
Yeah, very horny.
The wildly horniest. Like, it's weird. I understand it. I mean, look at him, but also, like, what?
I know we've talked about this before, but did anyone else have any thoughts on the remake?
Like,
LV?
overall?
Yeah, just overall.
Well, so yeah, I really liked it overall. I enjoyed it, and it really makes me excited for what the full game will be, or full 3 games. Who knows? Who knows, right? just gonna belt in and like anticipate that. But yeah, I'm someone who's not really attached to Final Fantasy VII, the original. Again, I'm one of those people who kind of absorbed the allure of this game through osmosis and just its understanding of its place in video game history, right? Like I participated in things in like Kingdom Hearts. I've seen the Advent Children movie with no idea who did, like just all those things. So
that's
yeah,
wonderful. So you haven't gotten to play Final Fantasy VII. This is your first time playing. That's
yes. I went into this being like, I know what happens. I know not quite exactly, but I know generally what happens. Who dies, who lives, right? If that will change, who knows, right? Yeah, I just kind of came in just for the ride. And I'm like, oh, I love this. And yeah, it's interesting seeing this. Not necessarily revolutionary. I think some people are exaggerating about like the combat system, which I think really it's just, this is like a neat improvement of like what they were trying to do, I think, with games like 15 and some of the more recent Final Fantasy titles with this mishmashed in between a turn-based slash kind of real-time system, but not quite, right? I do like it. I like the feel of it personally. I know there were some interesting comments about the review. I think there was some there was some clash over, some people felt it was difficult. Other people were kind of like, I don't get it. It's easy, which is a little unfair. Some people have different experiences, but overall, I enjoyed it immensely. My biggest concern, really, I think, which is, I think, something shared about for other people who have pointed out about this character, is that I feel like Barrett's character is poorly directed, or something is wrong here. It felt wrong in that, like, the other, like you have every other character, Cloud, etc. Like Jess is really horny, but it's not as bad as like Barrett's voice actor's overperformance. And it's like, when he starts talking, I'm like, I immediately had like a reaction. I don't know if it's because like just, I don't know, as a person of color, I don't know if it's just like, oh boy, whoever was directing this actor, their only experience seeing like a black person in media is like Mr. T's like character in the A-Team. Like, I don't know why Barrett is acting that way or talks that way. I felt like it was too exaggerated. I kind of understand his character, but also it's also the way his lines were written that I think were also a problem. It's a little too ham-fisted in a way that's not very. It's not very subtle. I don't know. I don't think there's anything subtle about like the whole presentation of the game to begin with. Like, it's really, again, as if we're gonna go into it, it's really funny that for some reason there is this still weird, Final Fantasy VII is not political. I mean, I don't know, mate. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is about eco-terrorists and climate change, essentially, and pollution. But that was kind of the sore things that were sticking out to me personally, and I'm glad that like other people have pointed out, and that's something I hope that can be amended with, because it's not okay for kind of one of the most present like black-coded characters to be cartoony like that. It felt very like, oh, this is wrong, and I don't recall his character being like that in Avid Children. I don't recall like. I don't know. I don't know much. I've not seen much of his character outside of this, right? So I don't think he's supposed to be that way. So that's definitely something that stuck out to me specifically. Other than that, like, again, as someone who's coming into this blindly, and has no like previous relationship with Seven, this is exciting. I'm glad to experience this new version of it. With everyone else at some point, when it comes out, right? But that's mainly what stuck out for me. I was like, oh, this is not okay. This there needs to be a communication on why this might come off wrong.
Yeah. That's been one of the things that stuck out to me between like playing the demo and the story trailers. Is a lot of the VO feels really unfinished almost.
Right.
Like, some of it just feels like I am a robot who just read these lines, and like it hadn't gone through like ADR yet because it feels off. Like, it just feels really off. Barrett is another one of those things where I'm like, boy, I hope they clean that up, but I have no faith that they actually will.
Right.
But it's such an interesting thing that, like, the way that demo is, it positions so much stuff. I'm excited that I get to play the first part and then I can ignore the rest, because the first part is the only good part of Final Fantasy VII. So I'm very excited that, hey, Midgar is its own thing, expanded, but also I'm looking at it like, okay, there are changes to the story, but there are also things that are fleshed out where, like, I wish there had been some extra dialogue in the whole ending scene with them blowing up with Shinra being the one that fully blew up the reactor, because it's like, in the original game, there's a lot of talk about how they are setting up Avalanche as this big bad so they can justify a war with another country by saying they're working with them. But expanding it in the way they did, without saying that's part of the plan in the demo, it just makes it feel like, hey, they're ignoring that thing that was in the original. But it's such a weird thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. So there's like a lot of subtle changes that really do make a huge, like, can potentially change like a lot in ways when you get to the juicy part, right?
Yeah, it spells out what was in the original with a little more flesh, but at the same time, without having like an extra couple minutes of dialogue hitting that in the demo, it just makes it feel like they blew up their own reactor for no real reason other than, hey, we're cacklingly evil, when originally it was like, hey, we did it to justify going to war and taking over the world, essentially. Which
there is still plenty of time for. I think there's a lot of space for that narrative to get pushed into it. And even if it's later, that might even actually be more subtle and more effective at explaining what's happening inside of the demo itself.
Yeah.
But Chris, did you just say that Midgar's the only good part of Final Fantasy VII?
Yes, I did.
You hate Nanaki? You hate Nanaki?
I generally, after you leave Final Fantasy VII, after you leave Midgar, I fall off that game so hard every time I play it. I've played all the way through. I have beaten every optional boss and whatnot when I first played it. But every time I have gone back to it, I'm just like, I don't think I like this game as soon as you leave Midgar.
Well, that's really a shame, because this first demo, and Elvie, you're not going to get the joy of this. This first disc of Final Fantasy VII Remake doesn't even have the best part of Final Fantasy VII, and that's playing as Nanaki. So, yeah, without that, this isn't even like the greatest it could be yet. So you're gonna get out of Midgar and be like, well, I guess that's it. And I'm gonna be like, no, Nanaki's coming, I swear. It's gonna happen. There's gonna be a nice dog, and they're gonna have their own.
Yeah.
There's even more good stuff is yet to come after this release, and it's got me so excited.
I will say what has me really excited about it is a more focused. Is it being more focused of an experience rather than, like, my big problem with 7 originally is it feels like it wanders aimlessly after you leave Midgar. There's a lot of, okay, I go here, and then I need to spend 20 minutes figuring out where to go next, and then I go there next. But then there are like 3 options of places for me to go, but only one of them progresses the story, so I'm just kind of wandering and wandering and wandering. And it's also that old school game where you can't go look at a journal or whatever to see what you've done, to see, oh, okay, no, I need to go there. So if you take like 3 days off, suddenly you get back and you're like, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need? I forget.
I think that with this remake, you've actually got a really good point that with this remake, we'll actually be able to manage those kinds of side quests better, and that's going to make a lot of things nicer when it comes to engaging with alternate characters' story beats that are not on the main story, but like, getting Yuffie and going about and doing all of the Nanaki quests and stuff. Like, those will have direction. And you can be like, all right, I have made the choice to not do the main quest, so I can go engage with these characters. And then when they're done, you're like, now I can go on the main quest. Being able to like consciously make that decision changes the pacing of that game so much.
Yeah. And like, honestly, I am super excited to figure out what the hell they're going to do with, okay, what are they going to do with the world map? Are they going to have one, or is it just going to be like the final, like I'd almost say Final Fantasy X, where you have a lot of corridors you can go around, but you're really just going from zone to zone to zone and not really like flying directly there almost, like the world isn't super.
It's hard to contend about, we're talking about the perfect, best, greatest ever video game ever. It's hard to say that the world map is not kind of a vestigial part of its time, and we would very much be better served with just like a Final Fantasy X-2 style of like, here's all the places you can go in a list. Just pick it. Just go there.
Yeah.
Because it was a thing of its time where it's like, well, we have to have a world map. And then they never realized, there's only 2 things on this world map, and they're very far away, and there's nothing else to interact with here except for wild battles.
Yep. Or in the case of Final Fantasy VII, there are like 7 things to go do, and none of them are important except for one. And if you miss that one line of dialogue, you wouldn't know which one of the 7 places to go to in your chase of Sephiroth as he does whatever he's doing.
He's got to do the big whooshy thing where you throw the materia at him and he does the whoosh over your head. Yeah. But, flying shit.
Like my big, important thing now with the way they're breaking it up. Now, when people play Final Fantasy VII Remake, there actually is a reason to, hey, I'm going to keep Aerith in my party and really level her up because I'm actually going to get a full game of experience with her instead of randomly going, oh, hey, I kept Aerith in my party and I really leveled her up and oh, god damn it.
Well, is there any more Final Fantasy to talk about today?
I don't think so. At least not that I'm seeing.
All right, we got it.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. The Final Fantasy wrap up. Let's see here. Elvie, is there anything you want to discuss?
Well, not Final Fantasy adjacent, but Square adjacent.
Ooh.
I played an.
Okay.
There's, you were talking earlier, someone about how, like, was it Type 0 that you said felt like a mobile game and probably should have been a mobile game?
Yeah, it started as a mobile. Well, it started as a PSP game, and then they did an HD upgrade of it, but they didn't They just updated the graphics. They didn't really.
And they didn't localize the PSP version. It's only on the big consoles.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting. What a gap. Wow.
Yep. So you were playing something that also felt unfinished? Another Square entry?
It was more like there are some things that should not be a mobile game or translated into a mobile game. And so what I played for several hours and was just like, no, I don't want to deal with this and further experiences is I think end of February around Dragon Quest of the Stars was released in the mobile games market. It is a yeah. So it is I wouldn't say it's part of the main series. It's not. I don't think it is. I don't know, like, would it be considered a spin-off? Because I don't know what it has in relation to the main Dragon Quest series right now. But basically, you are playing yourself. You're like an unnamed character. You're paired with two other people. You get washed up on the shore, and no memory of what you were.
Dragon Quest spin-offs and getting washed up on the beach.
They love getting washed up on the beach.
I guess so.
The whole series is washed
easy
up.
amnesia backstory starter. It's like, oh, I'm in this new land. I don't know where I came from, right? Yeah. Builders. That was literally Builders, too. But anyway, you meet this pink squirrel. Anthropomorphic
as you
squirrel.
do, yeah.
As you do. Mm-hmm. First of all, this is a new race, I think they introduced, or new species. I don't know what's the best way to describe it, race or species. But they're literally called squirrels. It's squirrel with an I instead of an E. There's no E. It's squirrel. Squirrel. Named Cyril. He's like, oh no, what are these like people who washed up? And then he finds out, like, oh, these must be the mysterious, or like descendants of the mysterious Questocrats. Totally made up thing. Again, not a previous Dragon Quest thing from my understanding. So we got two new things. We got squirrels. There's a whole race of pink squirrel fuckers. Questocrats.
I'm sorry, what's the party platform of the Questocrats?
To be questioned.
Okay.
To be questioned, as Cyril tells you, I was like, oh, you must be descendants of the mysterious Questocrats, who are, of course, destined to save the world somehow. And Cyril has this tome on him, which he cannot understand. It's like, shoot, you guys must notice if you guys are really the Questocrats that I think you are, right? And at some point, when you finish some quests, like, the tome opens up, and it's like your ancestral grandfather or something. His ghost is trapped in the book, and he's like, finally, after 6,000 years, I'm free, right?
I'm free!
10,000 years.
It's time to conquer Earth!
Yeah, and I wish he kept her, because he's also, like, the classic horny, lecherous old man trope, and it's like, no, stay in there!
Get back in your book, old man!
Get back in the book! And he's like, yes, these are the Questocrats, my descendants. So there's this. Anyway, basically, like the game is like this tiny little 3D globe. You go around these islands and stuff, and you just complete quests. It literally is. It's just literally an entirely like it's entirely just a mission based thing where you just go from place to place. My best way of simplifying what the game is, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever. That's not like, why does that sound bad, right? It's just a very simplified, bare to the bones Dragon Quest, or like even a standard JRPG where it's literally like, what if the game literally is just broken down to you on a map, selecting things, and going, just do the mission, right? Little dialogue, etc. No.
Wait, that's the worst part of JRPGs, though.
Yes, it is, because it is just that I felt like this game was bad. And, as someone who really only got introduced to Dragon Quest with the recent Echoes of the Lucid Age, again, it's a very long game. I'm still trekking along. I love it. It's really fun. It's good.
It is really good.
The characters are
Solon.
good. Yes. This game I think eliminates what I feel like are the best qualities of why people like this series, which is like its personality, I think. Which is beyond like, the combat system really, and that's what this game only really focuses on. So, you're basically unlocking different parts of the map, which is, again, you can zoom out and it's like this tiny, tiny little globe you can you eventually are to assume 100% complete. And yeah, literally each place is just a dungeon. So your character, it's like the interface looks like there's this tiny screen up top and your stats are in the bottom with with menus, etc. And yeah, like there's like limited customization you can do with your character. So when you wash up like on the shore, it's like your main character, and then there's 2 other characters you're washed up with, which is implied that you might be siblings. I don't know, you're all related maybe, because you're all supposedly descended from these questocrats, whatever. And that's kind of cute because they're actually totally randomized. You can customize like the whole party anytime. And the 4th slot is technically reserved for like the other online players you'll match up with. Like the typical thing where a lot of mobile games where it's like, oh yeah, I want to match up with someone, so they'll help me when I do a mission or something or do combat. So it's like you that's what you do. Other than that, you consistently have these 3. But yeah, for the most part, the biggest issue, as in the lieu of like mobile games, is nothing new. It has a lot of again, the game is free in the beginning, right? The game is free, generally free, but the problem is for like a lot of the other stuff to make the game a little more balanced, at some point like pay gating stuff starts kicking in, which is not great. And for some reason, like they have this what they call a star pass. I think it's called a star pass. It's a monthly pass thing.
There's the rub. All right. There's the rub,
and it's $6 per month, which is like
oh, what?
Okay, so I'm calculating what the average Dragon Quest game would do. Let's say $40-$50. I'm about $6 per month. That's like 72 for a year. When like I can like stretch out one like really good full long Dragon Quest game like across half the year.
Well, most of the Dragon Quest games are on mobile for $6 already.
Right, exactly, and that's just like that's it. One-off price. But yeah, there's like not much in this game for something they're offering like that. And it's just okay. It's really just again another. Like I said in the beginning, it's like there's just some things that don't need to be mobile game, and they're doing this to kind of like, it's one of those things where it's advertising, I think, the other games in their franchise. Like, in the beginning when I was installing it, in the loading screen, it literally is just flashing facts about the other games. Like, oh, this game was like the first game in the series. It's this is unfortunately like one big IP advertisement, right?
But not even like thing. To the level of like Final Fantasy Record Keeper or any of these other kinds of games that are like having fun with their lore. This is just like, here's some lore dump for loading screens, and we made a Dragon Quest, but we took out the best part, with ends.
Right. Exactly. It's a game not really worth playing. Like it gets tedious really fast, and I think like besides its lack of content, it's also the fact that I think it just does not function how I think a successful mobile game in hindsight today should function to be successful. The biggest problem being with how Dragon Quest is, where there's like a lot of dialogue and stuff. There's still that stuff. There's still cutscenes technically. That's kind of the problem. Like I feel like like typically if you're someone who's playing a game on your phone and you're like on a train, but meanwhile this dialogue scene's lasting like 20 minutes. Like I'm not even playing the game yet. Like hello, like when do I start playing? The train is going underground. I'm gonna lose service. I cannot actually play the game.
And then you're gonna have to watch that whole cutscene over again.
And then maybe reload. Yeah, exactly. And then maybe reload it. There's like a lot of aspects to it where it's just like this is not great for a mobile playing experience. Like it should be quick. It should be like easy. And again, the problem up front immediately, it's like there's just too many things going on in this game where it's not optimized well. It's just like it's very unwieldy for it to be playable, right? When it doesn't have it that much, it's literally like an auto battle kind of game where it's like, okay, my character walks. I'm not controlling the walking. I just see them walking towards this other part of the map. Like, oh, I'm going to have 5 encounters along the way. And it's just kind of, the battle system is basically like these slots on the bottom, and you just move the buttons up and down, and like for your characters to auto select those attacks to and your attacks are given based on like the weapons you are equipped with, your equipment. It's not really that your character each has a class or a specific like skill tree. It's really based entirely on the items you have. So it's pretty customizable in that way. There isn't like some strict like, oh yeah, I gotta strategize. Like no. It's based on like your specific items and what skills are attached to these items. So it's really like bare to the bones of what what you have to worry about. But yeah, like there's otherwise just not a lot going on. Like I don't see it's like why would there's no reason for me to be incited in paying something monthly when I can just get a full on game, right?
I can't get over
better quality experience.
Questocrats? The questocracy?
Yes. Questocrats.
So quests are like, we will build an economy based on quests. Quests will be our economy. We will turn in potions. But this is our healthcare system too, is, you give the potions to the people who need it, and they'll give you sticks and bones. And then you can give those sticks and bones to the next person who needs, who wants those sticks and bones. God, what?
You kill 17 slimes in exchange for this hamburger. Welcome to our economy.
Wait a minute, though. If you're doing fetch quests for your entire economy, though, and you're getting things to the people who need it most, isn't that just, like, anarchistic communes? Wait, I think I'm a questocrat.
Onto something.
I think I'm a questocrat now. No, this makes sense.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
The other only thing noteworthy of mentioning is that Cyril, the pink squirrel, who again is just
please
kind of
anything about Cyril the pink squirrel.
Who again is just
it's a squirrel. It's not cool enough to be a squirrel.
The first person you meet and is he has like this slime pet that sits on his shoulders named Gregory. And Gregory just screams once in a while, and that's his only contribution. He makes slime noises. I don't know what they're trying. I think they're just slime screaming, which is weird because right, for the most of the part of the game you are fighting the slimes in the beginning, and it's like, oh no, that's kind of weird when you have like a friendly slime in your like ally unit. I don't know. Oh, but it's that's the only thing that I thought was funny, really. It otherwise was a painful experience. It was like, wow, why is this so long? It is so long. Gosh, yeah. Don't play that game.
Yeah,
that's my only conclusion. Don't play that game. If you see it and it's like, oh, I love Dragon Quest, like no, play an actual Dragon Quest game.
Like even any of the like outside of the one Final Fantasy one that they released way back, a lot of the Final Fantasy ones have actually turned into like good, legitimately like good games. This just sounds like a shitty nightmare, and I'm glad you said something because I was about to install it.
No, it's just it's literally just why they just took all the grindy parts and automated it, and it's just a soul-sucking experience where there's nothing very interesting about it.
Like,
that
do you at least like recruit cool characters to your team, or
no? Again, like you kind of stick with your 3 standard customizable characters, and the online players you can kind of temporarily quote unquote recruit for like your when you go into a dungeon. That's it. That's pretty much it. You don't have like permanent. As far as I've played, I don't think there's any change to that party makeup.
That kind of totally sucks. If I can't make a party of like Erdic and like 4 other characters, somebody from 8, somebody from 5. Whatever. Let me make a party of Dragon Quest characters to play this Dragon Quest mobile game. That would be like...
Yeah, as far as I was able to play, it didn't look like there were it didn't look like there were older characters from the rest of the series that pop in. At least, again, as far as I played it, again, I just couldn't. It just seemed like this is like a new world, and I don't know what its relationship is with the world in the main series, really.
I hate it.
Okay. It's fucked up.
It is. Ugh.
John, what have you been playing lately? What's the news been for you?
Well, I got that record of Lodos. Lodos? Is it Lodos?
Oh, Lodos. Yeah. Ooh,
Lodos. Okay, I got the
exciting.
record of Lodos War game on Steam. It's by
Ooh.
Team Ladybug,
Ooh.
also known as the team that made my game of the year last year, Toho Luna Nights. And boy howdy, did they make another really stylish Metroidvania.
But this time you have
And-
better hair because you're deedlit.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, Sakia has pretty nice hair, but holy shit. So I don't know anything about Record of Lodos War, like, at all. Not at all. I bought this purely because it's a Team Ladybug game. I was like, I know it's going to be fun, and I was absolutely right. This is an early access game, though, so, they're going to keep updating it. There's going to be more stuff. But so far, it just feels really nice. It's Symphony of the Night, but with extra little bonus stuff.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Say no more.
Yeah.
Huh.
So you're going around collecting weapons, filling out a map, etc., etc. But there's this new little gimmick that's basically Ikaruga. As you progress, I don't know how many of these like sprites there are going to be, but you get these like little sprite fairies that like get integrated into your moveset. And there's a wind one and a fire one that I have seen so far. And basically, you can switch to these sprites, and based on that, you'll get like a damage decrease or just straight up like dodge damage. Like if an enemy shoots fire at you and you're using the fire fairy, you don't get hurt. Like you just guard against it. And you'll even do more damage if an enemy is weak to fire, or if the enemy's weak to wind, you can switch to the wind one and you'll do more damage just with your standard attack.
Nice.
It's really, really interesting and cool and fun, and it's just, if you like Symphony of the Night, if you like Team Ladybug's other games, you owe it to yourself to buy this game. Like, it is super, super cool. I would say, maybe wait until it's all the way out, because they're gonna, iron out all the kinks, but I had to get it. I know I'm gonna love this game. I'm gonna, I'll play around with the early version, and then maybe once it's all the way done, I'll just play through it then, because I'll have it, but it's awesome.
So
it is so awesome.
So Ladybug's now made a Lodos War game and a Toho game. What other kinds of things would you like to see Ladybug work on? What other kinds of...
Well, they also made an SMT game.
Oh, God.
They put out they made that free SMT game where you play as Jack Frost, if you don't remember that like came out around the time that like SMT4 Apocalypse came out, I think.
Okay, so rules don't apply to them.
Game they made to advertise it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That was also them.
They make good stuff.
They make really, really good stuff.
I didn't play the Toho game, but like I saw the Lodos War announcement, and I was like, "Shit, I need that just so I can, have Deedlit do a lot more than she did in the Lodos War series because Deedlit is fucking awesome."
She does a lot of cool shit in this. Like, you can do like a crazy backdash that's just like you turn invisible and then you appear backwards. You can use all different kinds of weapons. Like she starts off with like a standard like repair, but after a while you just pick up a bunch of other items from around just beating enemies and picking them up. And yeah, just like Symphony of the Night where you're swapping weapons, different speeds, different stats. You can also use a bow, and that's really neat.
Ooh, so it's
that's
like
awesome.
a Metroidvania.
I guess so. The bow is pretty neat in the sense that it's also used a lot for puzzles, and they're pretty basic puzzles, but it's still kind of fun to just walk into a room and see a bunch of like metal plating around, and it's like, oh, I have to aim my bow somewhere to shoot a rope, to drop a sandbag so I can grab an item. And it's simple, but they're fun little puzzles. They're just like fun little environmental puzzles. And this game doesn't seem that like it'll be like super crazy long, so I don't think it'll be wearing out its welcome.
That's perfect.
I think it's like $11 right now because it's like a 10% pre-order bonus sort of thing. But yeah, it's fun. It's good. I hope this comes out on other consoles because I need to buy Luna Nights on Switch. I think that's out on Switch. I don't know, but I need to own that game again. I love Team Ladybug's game so much. I like people saying like, oh, I dropped like $60 just to support a game. Like, I think that's crazy, but I think for a smaller title like that, it's fine. Like, drop some extra money on them. You know, I'm gonna send Team Ladybug some extra dosh just to tell them how much I love them.
Yeah,
because I want them to keep making games. They need that. They make incredible Metroidvanias that just don't overstay their welcome. Like, you know, you expect a Castlevania or a Metroid game to be like these long, sprawling games, and that's good. I do still like those games, but Team Ladybug somehow figured out how to make a game like that while also making them like 3 or 4 hour games, and they're still super tight, super well made, incredible games.
So, John, I have a pitch for the newest Team Ladybug game.
You did ask me a question, and I apologize about that, but let's hear yours first.
I have a pitch, and this might sound heinous, but go with me on this.
Okay.
Homestuck Metroidvania.
All right, so my choice, I think... let me think, and completely ignore what you just said.
No, but you go up the building as it's growing around you. You do the whole
So
what's the Homestuck game?
I agree with you.
And
I agree, because it does make sense for how Homestuck is.
Right, and you have all the weird little items that you accrue over time, and...
How about a Sweeper on Hella Jeff Metroidvania?
Okay. See, that's the Metroidvania inside of the Metroidvania.
Yeah.
And it's just one long staircase.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you come up to a staircase, you fall down.
It just cuts to that, yeah.
And there's just basketball hoops in the background. Folks dunking.
God.
You're stuck in a loop until you figure it out.
One of the bosses would absolutely be the big man.
I'm just saying. And Ladybug could pull it off because it would be brief.
They could pull it off. So my pitch would be... See, I think it would be kind of like Toho Luna Nights, where there wouldn't be that many different abilities, but how about a Pokemon one?
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Where you're playing as like Greninja or something like that. I think that would be really, really fun. A Pokemon like Greninja Metroidvania, we're just going around collecting things. You could be learning new moves and all that, and you know, maybe like some of the items could be different Pokemon friends, you know, like if you need some kind of like you know how there's always one of those moves where, you know, there's like swords spinning around you that could just be a bunch of hone edges flying around, and
you put a code in and you can play as Incineroar instead, who just has different range on all his attacks and suplexes motherfuckers.
Bad range, but way more strong. Yeah. I'm not trying to shit on Incineroar. I'm just saying I don't think Incineroar would work in a Metroidvania.
No,
but
Incineroar
Greninja, though,
sucks the same way Richter does.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Chris, this is my first time on podcast with you, and I'm just hearing some troubling things.
Everyone's gonna want to kick my ass. I'm fine with that.
Listen, Richter is not as fun to play as Alucard in Symphony of the Night, because that game is not made for him. But Richter is great in whatever that game's called. I'm blanking very hard.
Castlevania 64.
Blood of the Ashes, or no,
Rondo of Blood.
I knew it was Blood, and I knew there was a musical thing. Yeah. I don't know why Ashes came into my head, but
so Chris and Solon, you've both said harmful things to me. LV, do you want to get it out of the way?
To answer the question, I don't think I have anything in mind right now. Actually, not and honestly, I don't, because I think I have a hard time recontextualizing games I like into thinking of it in another genre. Right? I'm like, that's fine. You know, I don't know.
What would a Metroidvania of your favorite mobile game look like?
Oh my god.
They did do a shitty Metroidvania mobile game, so
what universe what universe would you like to dive into in that regard? Mr. Love Metroidvania?
No. Oh jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think. Yeah, dating sims definitely don't translate well. With
No. They could pull it off, though. I believe in them.
They could. They could try. They could try. I can't think of anything. No, it's not coming to me right now.
Like, if I did it, it would be, well, y'all probably can guess, but a Suikoden Metroidvania, because, first of all, Suikoden has a much better Dracula than Dracula, with Necklord, and also would have a better main character with Big Bear Victor, and his talking asshole sword.
Oh my god.
All right.
And it would be
Wow.
nice to actually be able to hit anything with Victor, because all that guy does is miss.
Just violence in here.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Necklord is the best Konami Dracula.
I'm sorry, that's
Well,
Vamp?
No, it's Necklord.
We need to move on before things come to blows. Chris, how about you? Let's hear from you.
All right. So I've played a few things. I'm still playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV because I've gotten past all my anxiety and can finally do dungeons again, and that's great.
Hey, that is great. That's the hardest part of 14. Is dungeoneering alone.
Dungeoneering alone and going, like, walking in and going, oh, hey, I'm colorblind, so I might die to the mechanics, so don't be an asshole to me.
Yep.
And people are actually really nice if you start with that instead of dying a bunch and then saying, oops, I forgot to say I was colorblind. I'm still playing a lot of Grand Blue Fantasy, like a lot online now. I was getting ready for the locals tomorrow, and they got canceled, so...
Oh, no.
Still,
yeah. Yep.
Still playing a lot of Grand Blue, because I want to get good with my gal, La Diva. She's the best, still. Although I have started using Percy a bit, because it has some jam mechanics, and I'm a jam main. Started up Neo 2. That game's a blast. Y'all's stream last night, which everyone should watch, is amazing.
It was a pretty dumb stream. We're probably gonna put that up on the YouTube channel eventually. But yeah, it was quite wild.
The creation of Jade Leno was unbelievable.
Jade Leno, Liquid Lightning, aka Jade Leno.
Yes, but yeah, most of the last week has been dedicated to Yoshitaka Murayama joined Twitter, and he's the guy who made Suikoden, and so it's been kind of Murayama fest for me this last week with I've been playing Alliance Alive HD on my Switch. I really, really liked that game on the 3DS, and I really, really, really like it on the Switch. It's just a great RPG if you're looking for a great old school feeling JRPG. I've been playing a lot of Warriors Orochi 4 Special now that that's come out, now that all the expansion stuff has come out, and I still love the hell out of that game. I still think Warriors Orochi 3 is the best game they've ever made, but 4 is great, and the story was written by Moriyama, so the story of 4 is great. And then I started playing Suikoden 2 again because I really, really love that game, even though it's like my least favorite in the series thanks to its best ending, which ruins the game, but all the other endings are amazing. So I'm looking forward to dunking back into that game fully and building a team of super buff lesbians and beating the hell out of bad guys.
Wow, Chris, you've this whole week then you've been incredibly on your shit.
I have been
sounds like
mega on my shit because outside of that, it's pure stress going, what are we going to do as every single convention cancels around us?
No, yeah. I'm kind of looking down the barrel of 5+ weeks of not being able to go to work and not being able to go to school. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out what am I going to do to spend that time. Oops, I've already played every Final Fantasy game, so kind of blew that one a year early.
What do we do? I'm just gonna play a bunch of RPGs that I already love.
honestly, the Warriors Orochi series is not a bad way to go.
It's fucking fun as hell. Those games are stupid great, especially now that they've started adding back in a lot of the bullshit characters that have no business being in a game like that. Like
that's like a series that if you haven't played that series before, pretty much anyone can dive into that and be like, "Oh, this is fun."
Yeah, Warriors Orochi 3 is the best Musou game ever made. It is just fucking like, okay, what character do I want to play as? Okay, I'll have a team of frickin' Joan of Arc, Achilles from the really shitty frickin' Greek myth game they made, and fucking like Kasumi from Dead or Alive. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, sure.
Yo.
It's such a weird game, and they mash it together in a way that is just like, oh, this actually works. It's super fucking dumb, and I love it.
Yeah, if you played like Hyrule Warriors and really got into that, like you kind of owe it to yourself to do some Orochi.
Just 3 and 4.
Yeah.
The first 2, not that great. 3 is great, except for the Samurai Warriors characters use it from Samurai Warriors 2, which was not the best of that series. Where mechanically they're just so different that, oh, your big Musou attack that you expect a big Musou attack is just like, oh, they're slightly powered up a little bit, instead of letting loose a big, huge attack, whereas Dynasty Warriors was based on Dynasty Warriors 7, which is still one of my favorites in that series, because Dynasty Warriors 9 is hot garbage. But, yeah, it's such a weird thing. Like, Warriors Orochi 4 uses the new Samurai Warriors systems, which are phenomenal. The new Samurai Warriors games, excellent. But it uses the Dynasty Warriors 8 stuff because Dynasty Warriors 9 was hot garbage and they knew it.
Oh god, there's just so many of these. I'm losing track now.
I could go on. I mean, I could talk
I know
about
you can.
The terrible Berserk Musou or the not very good Fist of the North Star ones that are still 100 times better than the Berserk Musou, so I can go back to them and have fun, unlike that one, which is terrible. They need to make a Suikoden Musou to match all my loves together. But
There's
yeah,
nothing stopping them, huh?
God, why wouldn't you? There's already like 500 characters there. Let me be big buff lesbian Olan and punch like 1,000 dudes. Please.
Please.
Konami, please. You don't want to make games, but Koei Tecmo does. Give them, or let them give you money to make a game that would fit that genre perfectly. Sorry. Fucking Konami. Now I'm just gonna go cry.
But you got to stick around for at least the rest of the show.
Well, yeah, but then I can go hide in my room and cry about what Konami has done.
Sure.
I'll join you for the post-podcast cry.
They have committed many sins, so it's
Worst
fine.
sins.
Many sins.
But while we're talking
All
about
right.
mobile games, make a Suikoden mobile game. I will give you $1 billion. I will become a whale.
Don't do that. Don't say that. Don't do that. To
Because
yourself.
they will, and it will be bad.
They
Yeah,
will.
don't
It'll
do
be
that.
bad, and I'll still be a whale. It'll be like King of Fighters All Star, which is not great, but
no.
I needed Vanessa.
Chris?
What?
I'm worried.
What? I'm
Just be
sorry.
careful.
Stay safe.
Just be careful.
Wash your hands, folks.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. So speaking of which, I guess we could just go through the sort of the coronavirus wrap up here. A lot of stuff happened. Nothing good. I guess we can start off with the more interesting thing than more full on bad. NBA 2K20 has a mode called NBA Today where they keep track of how the season's going and just run processes and play things out
Yeah,
It's based on how players are playing in real life.
the idea is that you
Well-
can pick up from wherever the NBA is and start playing 2K from wherever the season is and whatever the current modern stats of each player is.
Yes.
It's a really cool
yes.
system.
Yeah.
It's a neat idea. However, the NBA season just got canceled, as did pretty much every other sports season that's currently going on.
Except
The
for
XFL's
WrestleMania.
over.
Yeah, WrestleMania's supposedly still happening, but we'll see how that goes in the next couple of days. Because even Vince McMahon, I think, has to figure that shit out. But the My League, the NBA Today section, is no longer working because of that. They have no stats to bring up because the season is canceled. So that it's just busted. You can play a couple of really recent things that just happened, but everything that's supposed to happen, afterwards is just busted for now.
Without the data, the databases are full of null values because games went
Yeah.
unplayed, which is just a wild, of all the things for this to affect, NBA 2K was not one of the things that I would suspect would fall apart when when an entire basketball season gets canceled because of coronavirus. It's incredible.
It's wild too, because reading that story, it's like, no, the entire game just crashes because the game's brain can't compute what's supposed to have happened.
The fact that the NBA is not in session right now is hard to compute, and I understand.
Yeah. It is wild.
It's pretty disturbing. If you think further about it, it's like this idea where, a lot of us and people in general play games for escapism, but now there's this issue where the reality is seeping into the game and it's causing problems to make the game unplayable. So there's this there's something really disturbing about this too, where it's just if you kind of placating yourself in the game's universe, this idea that time has froze in a way, and now there's an end point where the world is. You see that point where the world is, and you reach the very end. Not to support flat earth theory, but you know what I'm talking about. How you know what I mean? When you reach the end and you hit the invisible wall and you see the waterfall, that's kind of what that is. That's really weird. It's at a certain point things just stopped loading. The timeline has stopped for everything.
That's why the game breaks, is they just drive that boat straight
up.
through the ice wall, and all the water in the ocean drains out, and the world can't live anymore, so it needs to
the
crash.
darkness.
If you are looking for any kind of normalcy, you can always load up WW2K20, which just updated.
And that's where
And
the
that-
lizard
The most
people come
normal
in.
game.
Well, that
The
will
most
crash.
normal game.
That will crash automatically, and you'll be like, "Yes, all right, I'm in a normal world now."
Let's not forget that the new update is 11 gigabytes.
Wow. the 2K20.
Is that fixing everything?
Oh no.
I highly frickin' doubt it. I don't know. We'll have to ask Scott.
That's a lot.
Because Scott, for some reason, can still play that game, which is amazing.
Somebody has to, I guess.
Someone has to.
So I guess some other things that happened with regards to the coronavirus. E3 got canceled.
Yeah.
That's not bad news. That's not bad news.
Yeah,
That's-
no, that's
So okay, I'm interested to hear your take here, LV.
Uh-huh.
Well, no. Someone brought up someone else I was talking with in another channel, talking about, this is interesting. What if this is causes enough problems for them to force them to break up that committee of companies?
Oh, the ESA?
Yeah. That might be interesting. I don't know.
That's true.
kind of-
The cancellation of
Yeah.
E3 does also mean that the annual E3 leak of everyone's email addresses is also canceled.
right.
I don't know. They may have already signed up for press badges, so, you never know.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. You're right. Thankfully, that is
Really
going
never
on
know.
as scheduled. Yeah, no, you're right, though, that this is going to force companies, because E3 is really just a glorified container
Mhm.
that other companies use to announce their stuff all at once, right? The idea
Right,
that
Mhm.
collective
exactly.
power helps the industry rise. But without E3, everyone kind of can just put on their own press conferences, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Nintendo
Or
has
we'll
already
have
announced
to.
that they're doing their like Nindies conference that they would normally do, and then following
Well,
it
I
up with
mean,
their
yeah,
own things, right? They've got a couple like
yeah. I mean,
scheduled now for the next 2-3
Nintendo's gonna
months.
have their Nintendo's gonna have their direct. Everyone's gonna have their own thing. Like I think Ubisoft has already said, yeah, we're looking into stuff. Sony's already said we're looking into stuff. I mean, they were already going to because they're not gonna be there. I don't think Microsoft has said anything yet, but of course they're gonna have something.
they're
I
probably
think Jason Schreier actually came out and said that Warner Brothers was supposed to have their first E3 press conference, but now I guess they're just going to stream that. He said like, yeah, they're going to announce the new Batman game. They're finally going to announce that Harry Potter game that leaked like a year and a half ago.
Oh my
You know,
god.
it's
Maybe,
Forgot
there's
about that.
going to be
maybe
there's going to be just streams now, I think.
Right.
It's just there's just going to be a bunch of directs happening, and then after that everyone's just going to go, "Oh shit, we got to save a bunch of money by just doing the direct instead of actually doing this." So, fucking whatever.
Yeah, like the interesting thing for me is like, will those? Yeah, a lot of these companies are starting to talk about we'll put together our own thing, but how much? What's stopping like Sony and Microsoft and to getting into bidding wars with like WB to go, hey, instead of having your own press conference, we can take care of that for you and we can show your trailer in our big video thing and here's $1 million. Because they
that's
want
kind of
the
true.
hype of like, oh man, it's on the PlayStation. Even though
There's
I
also
mean, there's that.
there's
There's that, but also I think the thing is that a lot of people want to have their own thing because then all eyes are on them and they don't have to share the space with anybody else. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, like Warner Brothers could just show the next Batman or the next Harry Potter on the Sony thing or whatever, or they could show all of it together and then that is an entire like cycle of a couple of hours of people just talking about those games and nothing else. So I think people are still going to want to have these separate things.
yeah, my biggest thing that I'm most excited about is you won't have the bullshit of last year where you had like the first press conferences and it would like show like a snippet of a game and then be like, see more at the X press conference. That was like infuriating.
I've always hated that. Yeah.
I think there's an interesting point that you kind of make, Chris, is that without E3, a lot of these big companies are going to have some spending money, and I don't think fondly of the capitalist system often, but with that spending money, there is actually stuff that they could do, like pooling resources into having other companies show with them that wouldn't necessarily have that platform.
Yeah. Or paying overtime and things like that.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog.
Paying for their yeah, that could help too. At the end of the day, though,
I mean,
at least
that's of course part of the conversation, but I think just looking at what this is, I think, like Sony and Microsoft should be using that money to bring in some smaller devs that won't be able to have their own press conference, but also like, I don't think they're going to break up the Ubisoft press conference or the like Bethesda press conference anytime soon. They have those like time slots. They have that like that mind share of people thinking about them at those times. They're not going to want to get rid of that.
true. It could all go virtual. That would not be unreasonable, actually.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, though, we are owed a Devolver Digital press conference where they will tell exactly 0 jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dread the Devolver Digital press conference because it is going to be like 900 people dying of coronavirus jokes.
Oh, God, I hope that they, write something original.
Yeah.
I just want to see your good games. Can you make it not hard to do that?
I can't wait for the PC gaming show.
No. Well, who's going to host it? Who's the problematic
nobody.
person?
That was
let's not do that. Let's
Oh.
not do the PC gaming show.
Oh,
That's canceled. We're
And then
good.
randomly every stream cuts to, oh wait, no, they got rid of John. No, they keep bringing back John Carnage. So fuck, I don't know. Whatever Twitch is doing will be infuriating.
I bet.
They're gonna put on an
Mhm.
AR during E3. It's gonna be great.
Oh, jeez.
All right, we're good.
An ARG.
So yeah, so E3 isn't happening anymore, and a bunch of other events are not happening as well. Probably the biggest group of people that are getting hit really hard by this are the fighting game community, specifically how a lot of like fighting game tournament organizers are just getting completely hammered by refund requests and all that. I think that's like a big problem with that is, you know, you look at like say the Overwatch League, they're moving on to canceling a lot of events and moving things to online. You look at like League of Legends and Dota and these other big events that are run by companies that make the games. They can take this hit.
Oh
But-
no, you're right. Uh-huh.
But local community led events, you'll see something like, you know, for example, in Florida, there's CEO, and you know, in Michigan, there's Michigan Masters, and there's like Final Round, and all these
NorCal
smaller-
Dogfights was coming up soon and got canceled fully.
yeah, there's a lot of these smaller events that, you know, you can't blame people for wanting to pull out. And then eventually these places are also just shut down. You know, like the government has to say, no, you can't do this. A lot of these group gatherings will they will bankrupt people. And you know, like Jabali was just posting recently, like, hey, like CEO Dreamland is happening right now. It's the Smash Bros. CEO event. He couldn't cancel it because there was not a government mandate to cancel it. Because if there was a government mandate, then he could pull out the contract without, you know, violating it, and then he would get some of his like deposit back and all that. He wouldn't owe the money.
He would get a lot of his deposit back. Yeah, without the government mandate, they literally can't afford to cancel that.
Yeah. So he's still running that tournament while this is happening, and he had to ask for donations. Like, he had to ask for donations to make sure that, like, the people working there get paid. And so people for next year, or for not even just next year, but, like, for CEO in the summer, so they can pay people then. Like, he usually recoups and makes money off of this so he can, you know, take that money and move it to the next event. But might not be able to do that because so many people pulled out of CEO Dreamland. And again, like, you can't blame them. But it's just it's so shitty that like this community, the literal community effort Orlando is getting shafted, but like this, like Michigan Masters, I was seeing like for ages the poor people running that were like in full panic mode, like, oh my god, we're going to be so screwed, we're going to be owing so much money because the government hadn't said anything yet. But then thankfully the government did finally cancel it, and you know, they got a lot of their money back and they were able to pay off some of their bills. But it's still so hard. Like, a lot of these people are having to ask for donations, and you know, they're getting the donations. It's good that, you know, it does seem like people will be able to come back next year and later on in the year and do these things, but these smaller events are getting just completely hammered. And you know, like the people that rely on these events to survive are also getting fucked over. Like, Chris, you've been talking a lot about this, and I feel for you so much, because a lot of the art events, a lot of the like conventions, the smaller conventions are getting canceled because of the coronavirus, and you're going through a whole lot of trouble right now because, you know, like Emerald City Comic Con and these other comic conventions are getting canceled. And
we had
it's
a
so awful.
local pop-up this weekend that was supposed to take place tomorrow and Sunday that was set up by all the comic shops in town for all the people that got, you know, that couldn't do Emerald City anymore, and that got canceled. So it's just like, that was what we were, you know, relying on to hopefully be able to make it, you know, a few more months of, hey, okay, I can make bills, I can do stuff like that. But now it's like, shit, what do we do? because yes, there are a lot of groups, Emerald ECCC online, stuff like that is going out and promoting tons of people. But it's not just Emerald City that got canceled now. It's the entire first half of the year. And you look at people like us, it's probably half our income comes from conventions, like more than that usually. Like we're probably, with all the shows that have been canceled, that's like 3/4 of the income for the year. Or you look at people like, their Monkey Minion Press, Permades, that are just like most of their income comes from conventions, not from online sales. You can do the ECCC online thing, and that's great, but the thing about conventions is a lot of convention buying is like impulse purchases. You walk past someone's table and you see some art and you go, shit, I'm going to take that home with me, and you buy it.
That is absolutely something that I do. Like, I'll just, I walk around a convention and I say, yeah, I want that. I want that's cute. It's like, and that is part of the charm of a convention. Even like, you find new artists. You find people to follow. You're not just gonna go on Twitter and just find someone unless they get retweeted on your timeline. But
and even then, it's a flood of retweets on your timeline at a time right now. Exactly. So you're seeing 20 people in a row, and you're going, okay, but it's all on like the difference between walking past it in person and having a retweet on your Twitter timeline is, you walk past it in person, you can stop, you can talk to the artist, you can take a really close look at it. But Twitter, half the time you go to look for that thing that caught your eye, and there's already 300 new tweets burying it because your Twitter auto updated, and you're like, fuck, I guess hopefully it'll come across my timeline again so I can see if there was a link. It's, people are, this helps people, but you aren't doing near the amount of business you would do at a convention.
Yeah, I agree. When I did conventions, like in your spot now, but I'm not. I'm taking a break from it right now. But when I make those personal connections with people who like my stuff, like that is really meaningful. Especially if it's something like fan art, and you're able, that's the point. Fandoms and stuff. Like you're able to bond over work, and I think that also prods people into the idea of like, yeah, now that I met the person behind this, or like, now that I made this meaningful, brief connection with someone who shares the same interests I do over this anime, this video game, or whatever, over like the idea that this thing is something that's cool and well made and I want it, like that also is a very strong incentive for someone to purchase it and support that vendor, right? Versus like, as much as I welcome, and I think this should be something more showrunners should consider, the idea of like an accessible, quote unquote, virtual convention or a show. It's very different that, it's very different to be in a physical space. Again, I think the idea of like these intimate connections with people helps like nurture the convention scene, right? Yeah. And to meet people like Chris, like, oh yeah, I want to buy your stuff,
and like right? The amazing thing, and what I love about, like, there are a lot of garbage people in comics, but there are amazing ones. The fact that it wasn't even, like, Emerald City wasn't even canceled when Jen Vaughn and Jaslyn Stone started putting together the, very, very shopping network, Emerald City Online alternative.
Yes.
When it was canceled, Iron Circus immediately announced their Pajama Con, and it's just like, these are freaking amazing things that the great people in the comics community always will look out for each other to the best of their ability. And it's it's amazing what people put together in such a quick time, but at the same time it still doesn't fully make up for what we will lose.
Right.
Speaking of some goodwill, Discord opened up their like settings, so now you can have tons and tons of people on your video chat calls together. To bring it back to fighting games, I wonder if there's a way that, they could put out a patch for the time being where the netcode just is really good, and then they can, put it back to normal.
Isn't going to do that.
They just patch it in and they're like, oh, it's good now for during coronavirus. Hey, and then when the coronavirus subsides, they'll just send it back.
Rollback. Fuck off, Arxis. Your netcode is garbage. I love your games. Let me play them online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
There's
how
a lot-
fighting games are
yeah,
going to do
there's a
something like
lot-
that.
There's a lot of initiatives right now trying to make up for it. But again, it's not the same, but at least it's, as Chris brought up, like, it's good that there are artists with like huge followings taking advantage of the situation to bring a platform to uplift at least their fellow vendors, right? Like saying, hey,
Mhm.
I know I have a huge following, like here's a list of people you should boost. I was supposed to go to the show that I also was supposed to go. It's great. Like, again, like it's great how there are like these great people in the community willing to uplift each other. Which again, I strongly encourage. I hope like showrunners in the future, I don't know, like there's really no good safety net when you do something like this for your lifestyle, right? Like I don't know, I don't know what the solution is. I'm not someone in that perspective of knowing how to run a big show, games, the comics, otherwise.
I
like
mean,
I don't know,
running a
it's tough.
small show is.
Yeah.
I ran a 1 day
Uh-huh.
show in Eugene, Oregon for like 3 years in a
Mhm.
row, and
Right.
that is weeks and weeks of 40-hour
Right.
weeks dedicated
Yeah.
to just working on that alongside my regular job, just to put together a
Right.
1 day show with like 100 tables. It is
Mhm.
an incredible amount of work. Advertising,
Mhm.
getting guests, making sure your
Yeah.
guests can get out there and are happy with their space, deciding what tables go where, organization. There's so much work that goes into a convention, which is like, and like knowing how it's run, it's like all that work is, kind of thrown out the door because of something you couldn't have foreseen. How many people
Right,
foresaw
yeah.
a global pandemic last year? And now it's
Right.
it's ever
What-
yeah.
Let alone like last week, I think the United States really hasn't sat in regards to like the numbers really now exponentially increasing at the rate it is. And yeah, it is, there's that, it's like unfortunately halting many businesses now and like hurting a lot of businesses. I'm thinking about like a lot of the brick and mortar restaurants that now have to either temporarily close so they don't have to deal with the rent, etc. Now, or they're losing customers, etc. So like if you're out there, like going to tip extra. I think
Yeah.
tip extra.
Well-
Hey, like tip extra for all your service workers. If you see an artist, like if you're on social media right now, or if there was a con you're supposed to attend and you were just an attendee, you're like, that's sucks. Like check out the vendor list, check out who was supposed to be there and see what they're doing. Like look up their online shop. Yeah, again, check out all the digital initiatives going on right now that are trying to make up for this. Another example I would bring up is, the Games Developer Conference. That was a big thing. That hurt indie devs the most because a lot of them, that was their big debut, launching their projects, etc., GDC. And the Wings Fund is a really fun that I'm going to shout out to, where I think they're trying to raise money to help a lot of teams and individual creators who will need that to make up for the fact that now they're not, they're going to lose potential investments now that this show has not happened, right? So that's something to check out. The Wings Fund, thewingsfund.me at wingsfundme on Twitter. There you go. I believe in general too, they also have a general like coalition that tries to give grants to people who apply. So that's where you're checking out. But yeah, look out for each other. I think like if you're able to, help out a creator, help out someone working in the service industry. It's tough out there. We got to look out for each other.
Yeah, if things had gone according to plan, both Solon and I probably would have been in the same house doing this. Because Emerald City is
don't say it like
literally
that.
right now,
Party.
and I'm very sad because like when I was like, okay, our hotel fell through, Solon was just like, hey, I've got space in my house. It's like awesome. I can still go when it totally doesn't get canceled, and then it got canceled, and it's like shit.
Well, now it's just a future date,
Yep, now it's just a future date for the busiest 4 weeks in existence where, like, they rescheduled it, so I'm in New York City for FlameCon, which everyone on the East Coast should go to. It's a really rad show. And then the next week is the rescheduled Emerald City, and then the week after that is Rose City Comic-Con, and that's if those also don't get canceled.
Yep.
Like, that's the wild thing, because, like, all I can see is it getting worse, and at that point, everything's just completely done for, probably, for a while. It's such a weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a weird thing. support your artists, go support restaurants. Like, nothing made me sadder than going to my favorite Japanese restaurant a few weeks ago, or a few days ago on Sunday when they're normally open, and they closed 3 hours early because there were just no reservations or people coming. So it was just like, we've got to cut our losses and go home for the day.
Yeah.
It's like, it sucks.
Yeah, I've been going to my like local Chinese place just to like support them a little bit, and
Yeah.
I mean, they don't seem like they're doing too poorly, but it's a lot like there is that undercurrent of racism where people just think, oh well, any kind of like Asian cuisine is gonna be like it's gonna have the corona, and it's like
yeah, apparently it's like, oh, that no science at all. I want to point out, given our TP shortage crisis, right? Go to the if you've never been in an Asian supermarket before, they also have everything. Go in there. They definitely have TP. Go in there. You might be introduced to some very fancy like Japanese brand TP.
Ooh,
treat yourself, right? Hey, if they're empty right now, go in there. Go ham.
Actually, the wild thing.
Also, better ramen options than Walmart ramen.
Oh yes,
hey,
I went to our local big Japanese market that we have in town here, and it was wild going down the freezer section, and it was just entirely empty. It's like, damn it, I just wanted some bao rolls. Because there's nothing better than like, okay, I can just microwave a couple of these out of the freezer. It's a good lunch. And then you go over and like, okay, I needed to get, I wanted to get some rice because I make a lot of curries and stuff like that. Entire wall of rice, just nothing.
Okay, so now that makes sense.
Yeah.
Frozen goods and rice.
Yeah.
Stockpile on that.
TP, I don't know.
Look, I just had a bad day, okay?
I hope you're okay now.
I was in a place of weakness, but hey, now I got toilet paper.
Yeah, you're set for a bit.
You'll be prepared for a while then. So, real quick though, Elvie, you did want to mention something because the Animal Crossing Switch came out today.
Yes,
correct?
It did. So
because of like the panic purchasing that everyone's freaking out about the groceries, I think something happened with this Switch. Do you want to explain?
Okay. What way back when this thing was when the pictures of this thing, this very and understandably so, it's really cute. You got this nice seafoam, the Joy-Cons. You got like a nice mint and blue there. Yeah, it's matching the whole seafoam theme going on with you're on an island. It's very good, and you got the little nicklings on. Very cute. No, like quickly off the bat, there were pre-orders for it, and it somehow got sold out. I kind of don't understand that. It's a pre-order, but anyway, the point is, this thing was, if you didn't pre-order, like, you're just assumed that, like, oh, this is now inaccessible. Like, I can't have it, and I have to wait. So a lot of people were willing to wait out on the day this special Switch with the game pre-installed. I'm assuming that's how it works, right? Would just willing to wait out and be like, oh yeah, I guess I'll just show up the day it releases, and it gets delivered to people pre-ordered already. And it turns out it's not that hard to get it. I'm on a couple Animal Crossing servers, and a lot of people were showing off their pictures like, oh hey, I got it, sir. But then there are people like saying when they went into like their Best Buy or local GameStop, they're like, oh yeah, there's like tons of them just on the shelf. And a lot of people just went in and got one without pre-ordering it. So I don't know if there was something that went wrong in terms of like the pre-sale for it that was not accurate. For some reason, people were locked out over something that technically didn't exist yet. Or the other thing I am theorizing is that maybe the number, like this kind of locked in number of pre-orders versus locked in number of what would be in the store. Like there was kind of like this oversight that also doesn't match up with this unforeseen circumstances of the pandemic, where there's not as many people going into the store to buy a physical copy of a game, and are instead now shifting their direction towards selling out the toilet paper in their local grocery store. So yeah, if your priorities are, I'm gonna get Animal Crossing, you can probably get that special Switch now, because there's apparently an overabundance of them, more than what people have foreseen.
Yeah.
So, there you go. You can probably get it now. It's not sold out as people thought it would be.
That's wild. I actually thought the opposite would be the case.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, yeah, there's quote unquote ways to take advantage of this situation. I mean, I was looking at fucking looking at fucking Yu-Gi-Oh prices right now. It's going down because they're canceling a lot of events. Let me tell you, if you're gonna try to get stuff, the rare stuff, it's a lot easier. And once the events kick back in, people are gonna want that. So, you buy low, sell high. I mean, it's a little. I truly began to understand how people can become evil under capitalism, because as soon as I started thinking about that, I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't be like that. No.
You're a Yu-Gi-Oh-terist?
Yeah, I was like, no, I can't start, going into the stock market with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm not doing that. I can't do it. I'm not doing it. So I am not doing that. I may take advantage of some low prices, but they will be for me, not to try to underhand other people. I need to do it for John, because there's some shit that I do need, but we'll see how that goes. I did already pre-order one of the boxes for the new set, which I'm very excited about.
Gotta get that deck good so you can finally beat up that beautiful dude.
Yeah, I gotta see how it goes. I mean, if I remember correctly, I did pretty good against him when we were playing.
Wait, you have a rival now? Is this like a recurring character?
No. It is a prominent fighting game community person who I played Yu-Gi-Oh against last year.
And excellent Beyblade commentator. Let's give him that credit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did a pretty good job doing Beyblade commentary, even though it was extremely obvious he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Still pretty good at it, though, honestly. Yeah.
I mean, I think I used to watch the anime of Beyblade. I don't understand. I'm like, this game has rules. I thought you just shoot the tops
Moses
in the bowl.
parted the Red Sea with a top.
You see, in the anime, there's a bunch of crazy rules and all that.
Right.
In real life, it is absolutely just you just throw the top in there. Yeah.
I didn't think otherwise.
I just really wish, of all those things that got really popular that deserved an anime, why the hell wasn't Pogs one of them?
What?
I mean,
no. Stop trying to make Pogs a thing. No.
Pogs will never be a thing.
That was true.
But I love
that
Pogs.
truly was not a thing. The era it came from, that was a time where everything was being turned into some Saturday morning cartoon. That's interesting that you brought that up. You're actually right. Why wasn't that capitalized into some poorly, cheaply animated series for kids?
Just an epic anime of some kid screaming about his slammer and how he just got a new buzzsaw slammer, but is like, no, I'm going to stick with my thin metal one because it's my Pikachu.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there were the
That's what he finally wins the championship with, his original slammer and not the big fancy one that he won off of hamburger applesauce. That's a fighting game name, right? That's like...
Sure, I mean, I'm just going to say...
That's one of them, yeah.
I'm just going to say Stan Balance Defender. Balance Defender is the best in the world.
That's some bullshit, man. I cannot believe that he beat the Daigo Umehara of Beyblade.
What?
That was him, Balance Defender. That was him.
I couldn't believe it.
The gods of Beyblade.
Wow.
Blader Ken is the greatest referee of all time.
Blader
Ken,
is amazing.
Yeah, he's the ref. He's the guy who refs it.
Is that their username, or is that actually their name? Is that their alias online, or is that?
I mean, I think that's his alias. I don't think his first name is Blader.
On his driver's license, Blader Ken.
It's on the license
I
plate.
legally changed my name to Blader Ken.
I mean, if you're a real Blader, if you truly know the ways of the Bay, yeah,
you're throwing a top into a bowl. How
and
complex
you're doing it real well. Listen, there has to be some skill involved, because there is one dude, I think his name is Blader K, who is a different person than Blader Ken.
What?
Who is the world champion at Beyblade. This dude is just kicking little kids' asses constantly, just whooping their ass at Beyblade. Number one at all the tournaments. Pretty much any time we, because we've been watching quite a few Beyblade tournaments in the Chooch staff Discord. Pretty much any modern Beyblade tournament, K wins. And it is just overwhelming every single time he wins.
Look, nobody beats the power of K-Dash.
I guess not. I mean, yeah, maybe he's got some of that. I don't remember what kind of power K-Dash has in KOF. What is it called?
Except in this case, it's K-Spin.
K-Spin. All right, yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Oh no.
Kula Diamond.
Wow.
She's in it too.
I mean, probably best friends with Balanced
Names.
Defender.
Balanced Defender's the third in the KOF tournament. Yeah. It's Kula, it's K-Dash, and it's Balanced Defender.
So I am 90% sure that Pogs are a psyop from late 80s kids to trick 90s kids
True.
like me into thinking that there was some kind of collectible cardboard that wasn't Pokemon cards, and I don't understand it. However, I can say with certainty that my middle school students do play Beyblade, and they love it. So that has lasted. That has lasted the test of time in a very real way.
Those tops spin real good.
They do.
It's no
real
Crossfire. Good. Like, why can't I shoot those Beyblades with marbles? I'm sorry, I'm old.
Chris.
Beyblades are good.
What?
Bladen. You Bladen?
Anyway,
Bladen
when
more
we
than
have the
freaking Ric Flair in the 80s.
God.
Wow. Anyway, next time we have a Chooch meetup of some kind, you all got to bring a Beyblade. We are going to play Beyblades.
Oh, I got to bring my Bay.
Yeah, you got to get a Bay and bring it.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if I just get a top from the dollar store? Like, sometimes they have those party packs, and I stick a knife on it. Is that illegal?
If you wanna lose, maybe
you gotta glue a Pog Slammer to the top of it to add weight.
I mean, maybe.
Okay. All right.
We'll see.
I'm actually worried about non-standard Beyblades, getting people hurt, because that stuff is violent.
Gotta make it.
They're heavy.
We're gonna have to call Blader Ken to make sure that it's legal.
Like, making it from scratch? I don't know, like, I grew up with watching stuff like Robot Wars, and, like, how insane, like, here's this hunk of metal, we're gonna stick a knife on it. Oh, and it shoots fire. I love that. Like, that's not the same logic. Like,
LV is out here whittling her own personal Bay, putting her anime spirit into the Beyblade.
I'm putting my love into it. That should power it, really, I think.
Uh-huh. Hand whittled this wooden top just to find out it's a metal and plastic top tournament.
Oh God.
Yeah, there you go. What else I think we should talk about one last thing, and then we can move on. Is there anything that's jumping out to you all?
Yeah, can we talk about Reggie Fils-Aimé doing some stuff?
Sure, we could talk about that real quick. So, Reggie, the Reginator, Reggie Fils-Aimé.
What's the update on him?
He is now on the board of directors for GameStop. Try to get that company out of the friggin' nose spin that it's in right now.
If anyone can do it,
I mean, that's valid. I think that, it's valid. Or he might end it once and for all. Maybe he is doing a favor.
He's just there to put them out of their misery, because the only thing deader than E3 is fucking GameStop.
So who knows what will happen to that, honestly. It might resurface with a totally different name, right? Like, I don't know how that stuff works.
Maybe Reggie will bring it back and call it Game Go.
Yeah.
Or maybe he'll bring it back and it'll be Domino's GameStop.
Oh, there we go.
Wait, so like a Domino's merged with a GameStop?
Yeah. It's like the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
Yes!
It's the Domino's Pizza GameStop. You get your pizza and your Funko Pops.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, I love it when I see a combination Dunkin' Donuts Baskin Robbins, because I know that means that Baskin Robbins has some peak flavors.
Yeah.
Right.
That is the good shit.
That might be it. That might be the solution to all this.
I do like the idea that Reggie has joined the board. It's just a board position, so it doesn't really mean that much, but either A, it means that he thinks that GameStop will continue around for a long time, or B, he just wants to watch it die.
Yeah. The wildest
It's the latter.
The wildest thing about this whole thing for me is still that, like, there's a fucking executive that people like and care about what he's doing instead of just being like, fucking executives, fuck them all, except for Reggie.
Because he does funny stuff like this. This is obvious. This is hilarious. This is exactly what I would expect Reggie to do,
Yeah.
you know?
It's like, I got my new gamer chair. I'm super excited to show it to you on Twitch as I talk about GameStop financials.
Reggie is absolutely like the epitome of those memes where it's like when you gotta kill blah 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 in the like uprising. Like he is absolutely that. It's the crying guy with the gun.
Yeah, he's last in line for the guillotine, you know?
Exactly. It's
He'll
just like,
get
you know
there
what?
eventually.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
We're gonna make it take as long as possible to get to him.
Yeah, you know, maybe if you really say sorry and redistribute your wealth, maybe we'll think of it. You know, we'll see how it goes.
And then he redistributes his wealth just by buying 1 million pizzas for everyone.
All right. Well,
You know what? Yeah.
You know what?
Lifetime
Figured it out,
supply
right?
of pizza for all.
I mean, sounds good to me.
Yes.
To be fair, I think he actually has been pretty proactive since also. I think it was the Fellows program in Columbia University. He is from the Bronx, so he has been.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's kind of been doing stuff there. So that's interesting. But I haven't really heard like specific things. So at least there's that. You know, like okay. But I don't know. Like I'm like, yeah, you could just like maybe give half your wealth to that video game program. That's it.
I'm
and
sure
walk
he's
away.
not a complete pile of garbage. You know, it's
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
it's society.
I know. All billionaires are philanthropists.
Fuck.
I mean, I don't think he's not a billionaire. But whatever.
I mean, he's fucking rich as hell.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We all know what we're talking about. We know. So, I think we can move on now. Are we good with everything else? Is there anything else we could talk about, like, real quick before we move on to
Hey,
questions?
Hades updated, and now your mom is hot in that game. Not that Nyx wasn't before, but Nyx, the goddess of darkness, and a creator of all things in Greek mythology. Nyx has a character model now, which normally wouldn't be a big update, but it is today. Hades updated, and they added fists. They added Fistagon gauntlets as the final weapon slot in the game, and it's basically the greatest thing I have ever touched in any of these Supergiant games, because they gave you the fighting game, the only 2 buttons in a fighting game that have ever mattered. You have Light Punch, Shoryuken.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only buttons you can press,
yes.
and that's all you need.
That's all you need.
And it is the greatest button masher, nasty kind of roguelite Binding of Isaac ass game you could play. Hades is incredible now. I highly recommend it, and get your fists on those gauntlets so you can make some demons catch hands. It's awesome.
Like, that excites me after seeing that Neo 2, you couldn't do any fisting. I really need more games that allow me to just fucking punch shit.
Yep. Mom's hot, and you can do some fisting now, No Oedipus.
boy.
No Oedipus, bro.
Yeah, no Oedipus. All right, are we ready to talk about and answer some questions?
Yeah,
I am now.
there was
Thank you
no
for that.
Stadia news, so I have no reason to laugh.
No Stadia checkup. All right. Well, I'm sure you'll be able to say something about Stadia in 3 months, probably.
When the next piece of news comes out, when they announce we finally
which will
got
be its
another
cancellation.
game.
Yeah, we will hear about the cancellation, and that'll be it.
Probably.
So, y'all ready for questions?
Always.
Yeah.
You can send questions to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. That is videogamechoochoo.com/ask. You can send them anytime. You'll sound like these folks right here. Shulis asks, what genre needs to take a break?
Ooh. Not mobile gotcha games. Gotcha games need to chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, I'm not really for saying that like an entire genre needs to take a break, because as long as you're doing something interesting with it, it's still fine, you know? Like the bare basics of a game can still be melded into different cool ideas, but yeah, so your gacha games are a pretty good pick.
As somebody that loves Muso games, as evidenced by the fact that I geeked out for like 10 minutes earlier, yeah, fucking take a break. I'm sorry.
okay.
Until you can come up with a good idea for a good Dynasty Warriors again, fuck off.
Can't
Give it a
believe
few
there's 9 of
years.
those.
Well, I mean, technically there's 8, but the fighting game was called Dynasty Warriors in the US, but not in Japan. So there's only 8, really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, there's only 7 because Dynasty Warriors 9
Oh my God,
sucks
Chris.
ass. Sorry.
Chris.
Fuck.
Yeah, we need to stop. We need to stop.
Got to get you off this train quick. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. This might not be fair because I already kind of not a fan of these games, but I just kind of feel like Souls likes are super one note, except for like, I mean, again, you know, you could do what you need to like build on those and make different designs, but every time I see a Souls like, it looks exactly the same. Like, I watched Scott play Neo 2, and I'm sure he enjoys it. I'm sure it feels very different for him. But if you put Neo 2 next to Dark Souls 2,
Next to Sekiro.
I mean, yeah, next to Sekiro, I mean, Sekiro especially, it would take me a good while to tell you what each of those games were. They have very similar lighting, they have very similar just cameras, they have very similar combat. They are so similar.
When I was
John, I think you should
writing
go
up
bigger.
my notes for the show, I was like, I couldn't remember that the game was called Neo 2, and I wrote Sekiro twice.
Oops. John, I really think you should go bigger. I think that you're limiting yourself. I think you should just cut off the entire action-adventure genre. I think they've had it too good for too long. That anything can just be described as an action-adventure game. You can pick it up off the Blockbuster shelf and it says action-adventure on it because they didn't know what else to call it.
You could do that.
I think you should just, the whole genre, which is pretty much every video game, that needs to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Video games go away.
Yeah, just video games. There you go. That's the genre that needs to take a break.
This is my complaint that I've mentioned before, but again, there's this noticeable trend since the success of Stardew Valley where there's a lot of games in the indie scene developing or have already come out since Stardew Valley's original release date, where they're all trying to be a farming simulator, and they're basically specifically emulating how Stardew Valley, I think, really improved upon the Harvest Moon / now known as Story of Seasons officially in the English localization title of the series. That how Stardew Valley improved upon that franchise, that genre in particular, and added a lot of things that I think Harvest Moon, again, I grew up with Harvest Moon, so I'm going to keep calling it Harvest Moon, that a lot Harvest Moon failed to recognize. And now we also kind of have this resurgence recently where Rune Factory is trying to revive itself. Again, who knows what's going on with that new one that I don't know is yet to come out. They had a trailer, it doesn't show anything, but I feel like that's like a huge undertaking, and a lot of the ones I played thus far, they're still in alpha, they're still in development, they're not, it's a hard thing where you have a small team, very little budget. A lot of them I feel like are trying to take on too much because they're trying to emulate how vast Stardew is and like how good it is. But it's a hard genre. It's a hard genre to undertake. Like you kind of have the idea of like an open world, the idea that you have kind of like a dating sim simulation in it at the same time, and the idea that you also have a sustainable kind of like functioning farming growing system going on. There's so many things at play for one game to hold that. It's very hard, and I think too many teams and like titles I'm seeing upcoming or developing, they need to. It's not that they need to stop. I think some of them need to take their time on it and a little longer. But it is a noticeable trend I'm seeing in indie games right now where a lot of them want to be a game.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
They go for too much. It's like my time at Porsche had way too
Right,
much
agreed.
frickin' crafting stuff and stuff like
Right.
Like Stardew works
Right.
because it has all that stuff, but it's all pretty simple. Whereas you
right.
got into my time at Porsche, I fell off because like
Mhm.
the crafting system was just too much. There was
Right,
too
right.
much.
I agree.
It's like
Right.
playing Rune Factory 4 again. It's like just enough. It's simple enough that I can
Right.
take a couple weeks off. Like I hadn't played it until this morning for like a week and a
Mhm.
half, and I got back in, and it's easy to jump back into because there's just not a
Mhm.
ton that is too complicated. It's like, hey, give me, it's easier than a lot of the new ones coming out, which are just like, we have a really robust crafting system. You don't need that. You just
Yeah.
need chill, fun, relaxing time.
Yeah, or it's very surface. Like, you know, since you brought up my time at Porsche, like I felt like it wasn't that much different when it was in its alpha phase, when that was kind of going on, to like what the final product is. And again, not that it was a bad game, and again, I kind of fell off it pretty quickly too. But I felt like it just felt incomplete. In a way, I didn't really connect with the characters as much as I wanted to. It just felt lacking in that way. Like I think like again, there's just multiple systems going at in play when you have a game like this. I think like if you want your game to stand out specifically, now that we have this sea of them, maybe like invest your time into a particular aspect of that game you want to be really strong and stand out the most. Like, do we want to focus on the dating sim aspect? Do we actually want a really good crafting system? You know, like it's just like so many things, you know. But that's just, again, I think that still has been kind of the ongoing trend I'm noticing in indie games right now.
Too many Stardew Valley likes.
Yeah.
Including that new Nintendo one that's coming out.
Oh yeah.
What is it? Monster Mixer?
Yeah. Right.
Animal Mixer or whatever.
Animal Mixer. Animal Town.
Oh, Animal Town. Yeah, that one. We were just talking
Animal
about it. They can't even sell out of it anymore because there's just too many Stardew Valley likes.
All right. Let's see here. Anonymous asks, let's if this may be too heavy, we can skip it, but just what are your gaming plans should the virus cause a quarantine situation?
Oh, this is a really good
about...
question. This is a really, really good question because
this is easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
As someone who's been doing a lot of people look to me as a live streamer that are like, hey, what are you playing while you're, going to be in this kind of basically all the streamers are talking about cabin fever, which is weird because
understandable.
A lot of this does not really affect their daily schedule that much,
right.
But just the idea that you are now not allowed to go outside changes how people feel about it. And so
it's a psychological thing.
Having not just a gaming plan, but also like having some other variety to your plans is the most important thing. And so I like having Ring Fit Adventure right now to like do some workout stuff while I'm not playing games is going to be extremely helpful during a quarantine situation. Or in my case, I don't have work for 5 weeks. So I got to do something to fill that time. And I also got to do something to help fill my friends' time. So I'm going to set up a couple like extra until we beats where we play a video game until we beat it on the weekends so that my friends who normally would, have work or something, they can come out and we can all hang out together and, wait out what is a very long period of time to be told that you can't go outside much. Even though it's really no different for me than like summer vacation would be, schedule speaking, but just the feeling of it is very different.
Right.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I saw I think it was a tweet by another teacher actually, where she was talking about this like I think like a lot of workplaces are like now being test the waters. We're like, okay, can our infrastructure handle this, etc. Like if they're using VPN networks, etc. Like is our servers gonna just explode when we're not in the office? Like she just brought up the joke, and I think she might seriously do it. Where the idea of like like I can hold my classes in like an MMO. Like those servers are built to handle many people at a time, like stuff like that. And like my coworkers and I think we're seriously like I'm very comfortable with my coworkers. Like we get very personal. Like it's not professional at all, our relationship. We're very comfortable with each other. And to the point where we made a joke. It was like, oh, maybe we can make a Minecraft server and like count it as like team building or something. I don't know. But it just opened up like funny conversations like that where. Yeah, I think for me personally, just in general, I think it's just the idea of now, like, oh yeah, like I know a lot of other people in my own social circle where like they're all working from home or now they're not going to go out as often, right? So it's just kind of coordinated plans, I think, also with friends, and hey, let's play something together, right? I think that's like the big part is I think the idea of like, someone, as you said, it's even though you might be one might be an introvert and you don't go out anyway, but now it's the idea that, oh God, now I don't even have that choice, right? Yep. That's what's scary. I think you just have to remember to reach out to people and, and you should also make the initiative to like check in on each other, right? Like if you have friend groups where you already as is play stuff together, maybe just do that more, right? Like that's cool. Like I think like it's like I have like a whole backlog of games I didn't play or did not finish. I have Animal Crossing preloaded up. It's gonna install launch day. Yeah. I am ready. My body's ready. I'm in some like Animal Crossing servers where we're sharing friend codes and like, oh yeah, like let's get something going on. I think that's something like people can do as a suggestion to like, it's that, you may have like a lot of games, but it's the idea I think of loneliness that sucks, right? Like, okay, but like, just I think that's something that should be encouraged. Like, okay, we have the internet, let's go, right? Like let's play
now's a good
stuff.
time to learn a multiplayer game,
Yeah.
Like if there's a game that you were thinking of learning, there's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, get in the lab on a fighting game and then show up to your locals when those come back and everyone's gonna be super
get good.
Everyone's gonna be super rusty, yeah.
Get good.
Join me in Guilty Gear, which is pretty much my answer. Dedicating a whole lot of time to Guilty Gear and Grand Blue and
training.
Because I want to get seriously good at a fighting game rather than just like, hey, I can kind of hold my own, but I'm still gonna go 0-2 at every tournament. I want to be like that person who goes like 1-2. Right. I will be so excited the day I go 1-2 because it has not happened yet.
Hey, if you keep going, you'll get better. Like, I mean, not to just keep bringing it up, but like I've been going like 2-3 at Yu-Gi-Oh recently. Before I was going just 0-5. I was 0-3 drop, and I'm doing way better than I have been. It's all about learning how to play. It's all about keeping that grind up. So that's what's important. As for me, I'm just looking forward to Doom. I'm catching up on a lot of anime. That's also important. But Doom is what I'm really looking forward to, and that's like a week away. And I mean, obviously, y'all are looking forward to Animal Crossing, and I'm getting such bad FOMO. But
no, we got Doom. You and me got Doom. They can have Animal Crossing.
Like that's the thing that sucks is I always get FOMO with like Animal Crossing and Pokemon and stuff like that. So I buy all of them, and I keep trying to get into them, and I always fall off. I will announce that I have fallen off of Pokemon Sword.
I mean, that's understandable. It's just like recently, the stuff that I've been getting FOMO for, I've actually gone out and gotten them, and then I enjoyed them. Like, I had really bad FOMO, but also like a lot of fear of playing DMC5 because I was just like, I'm gonna suck at this game. I'm gonna talk about how frustrated I am with this game, and I'm just gonna feel like shit. But then I got it, and I played it, and I just really liked it. So. Sometimes I'm just wrong, but then at the same time, it's like I've played like every other Animal Crossing game, and I've fallen off after a couple of weeks just because I'm just like, I don't want to keep digging up fossils, and I don't like doing the furniture shit, so that's it.
That's valid.
But what I do like is ripping and tearing.
Yo.
So that's until it is done. So I'll just get Doom. But again, I will be an ally to the Animal Crossing fans, much like how Doom Guy and Isabelle are allies.
Oh yes, they're probably dating. They love each other very much.
Wow, all right.
I think they're
interesting claim, but I support it.
I mean, I think he'd be a good date. He seems nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He'd protect you. I don't know. That's a good quality to have in a date. and a partner.
Good Catholic boy, yeah.
Yes, a good Catholic boy gets rid of the demons for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like they would have, it would be like, he'd be like, oh, let's go to the shooting range and teach Isabel how to shoot.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Isabel
safety,
could like
firearm safety.
Yeah, and then Isabel could like teach him how to spruce up his house. I mean, he's got a pretty sweet pad in Doom Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet she'd probably just be like, you know what, this is really cool. You could probably use some better lighting and stuff.
You need some plants. Yeah.
Go out shopping for plants.
They watch out for each other.
Isabel would love his pet bunny too, because he's got a pet bunny. All that stuff. I agree with you, Alfie. That's a good one.
I just keep thinking of this idea that you put them together and you have the like ultimate Antifa super soldier combination.
Yes,
it's
very powerful.
Be soft when you can, but be ready.
Yep.
That kind of thing. Boston sent in a question, and speaking of Doom, asks, "What is Doom Guy's favorite soda?"
Oh my god,
Faygo.
Is that Jones?
I was also going to answer Faygo.
Which one?
Faygo's really good. I think he would be into the it's like a
bubblegum.
I was gonna say bubblegum, but I think he would like a more like a more hard flavor. Again, not just because he's like but I just think just looking at him, I think he's got a very I like food that punches me in the face. I think Doom Guy would also like spicy food. I think he would really like trying a lot of different flavors from different places. I think that's the kind of guy he is. So I think he would like a weird an interesting berry mix that Faygo would have. I don't know all the Faygo flavors off the top of my head, but if there's some kind of berry mix flavor, I think he would like that a lot.
I was actually thinking Faygo while listening to Blaze Ya Dead Homie and other Psychopathic Records classic jam bands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was actually thinking the exact same thing with I was thinking of Jones Blue Soda.
Oh.
Okay.
The I think it's blue raspberry, but it might be cotton candy or bubblegum. Just that kind of candy flavor. Because isn't his armor packs blue?
They're green or blue. The green one is the regular armor, blue is super armor.
That's the okay, yeah. Yep. That pops out of the demons and he just drinks it up.
So you think he's just innately drawn to things that are colored the same way as his power-ups?
Absolutely.
Or are his power-ups just Faygo and he is just he just chugs a Faygo and that is his armor? He's not actually wearing any armor, he's just drinking Faygo and that makes him immune to the demons fire and bullets and shit.
I knew it.
So I've got a list of all the flavors in front of me if we want to go over it and say stop when we reach one. That would fit.
Just start going.
Delicious fruit punch.
Stop. Stop, you got it.
Really? Right at one?
Delicious fruit punch. Are you kidding me? How did we not think of that before?
There's also vanilla cream soda. The rock and rye. Also, it says delicious before everything. But so
okay, so yes, so just fruit
raspberry,
punch.
Blueberry. Pineapple orange.
Pineapple orange.
Jasmine blueberry.
Rippin' and tearing cherry.
These ones are just twist, which I'm pretty sure, and tonic. You can get tonic, so you can have your gin and tonic Faygo.
Mm-hmm.
They've got
important
40 flavors of sparkling water.
That's a lot.
Club soda. You can go with the Arctic Sun.
Arctic Sun.
Cotton candy.
That sounds sick.
Gold bubbly sweet ginger soda.
That sounds pretty good.
Dr.
For him.
Faygo.
That one. Dr. Faygo.
Candy apple, black and cherry, 60-40. Or draft style root beer.
Ooh, I can see Doom Guy being a root beer guy.
Red Pop.
Oh yeah,
Red Pop. Red Pop is one of the more famous Faygo flavors. I combined those words together. No, I could see him liking Red Pop too. Red Pop's really
Pineapple
good.
Red Pop is really
watermelon?
good.
Pineapple watermelon.
Raspberry lemonade. Ooh, you've got Moon Mist.
Moon Mist is also really good. I bet Doom Guy would just be like really he just seems like he's open to a lot of experiences. I think he would just, like, if you put any of these like cool Faygo flavors in front of him, you put some of that Jones soda in front of him, I bet he would love it. He just seems like into that kind of stuff. He is a man of the people. He wants to protect humanity. And so he appreciates what humans create.
Now, would he go for Moon Mist Blue, berries with a real kick?
I think with a kick, yeah.
It's got a real kick of blueberry and gore.
Yeah. I mean, kicking isn't his thing. That's Duke's thing.
He sometimes
Doom Guy
kicks,
punches,
but yeah, mostly
sometimes he
just
kicks,
punches.
yeah.
You're right.
It's more of stomping than kicking. You know, he's stomping while Duke kicks, but you know, it's a similar move. I don't know. I think Doom Guy as a you know, he was in hell for like 1,000 years. I bet he would be happy to just have any kind of like weird
Just gonna
soda
go with
that would
the
be
delicious
different.
cotton candy, genuine Faygo.
Sure, yeah. Let's go with
All
it.
right.
All right, and we got a last question here from Harlequin Wheels. If you want to send in a question, it is videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And Wheels asks, kind of two questions here. What's your? I think this might lead into kind of sort of the quarantine situation here, because Wheels asks, what's your favorite game over 30 hours long? And what is your favorite game to play online with friends? So I guess this is also just kind of like a recommend some games to people for the quarantine, if that does happen.
Dark Cloud 2 is the greatest game of all time, and you could probably put 200 hours into that game and not go through all the content. You can finish the main story in about 60 hours, but there's so much side stuff that's all fun. Yeah, Dark Cloud 2. And what am I going to play with friends? A hell of a lot more Final Fantasy 14 and fighting games.
Yeah, sure.
Oh no.
That's a throwback. Wow, Dark Cloud.
Oh no, I have time to play Final Fantasy 14.
Oh,
Join
no.
me.
Oh no.
Come to the fairy server and
Yeah.
join me.
This is the peak time to finish a Square JRPG.
Yeah.
Look, I swear it gets fun
Like
after
Dragon
100
Quest,
hours.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
fun before that, but then it gets really fun.
I mean, mine. I would just recommend The Witcher 3. Like, I love The Witcher 3. I remember just playing that game like nonstop when I got it, and that game is perfect to just dive into, completely focused, and you know, just give yourself up to it. Make sure that you get the complete edition though, because that DLC is most of that DLC is better than the base game. Like the base game is already like a 10 out of 10, and then that DLC is like 11 and 12 out of 10. It is so good. I love The Witcher 3. Definitely recommend to pick that up as something to play for a good long while. And I would say just for a multiplayer game, you know, obviously there's like the fighting games. You can play Smash Bros with people online, but I would also recommend 100% Orange Juice.
Yes.
You could probably pick that up
Yes.
pretty cheap on Steam. But it's just a fun board game that you don't really have to explain too much of the rules to. It's very self-explanatory. And it's like Mario Party without the minigame, so you'll get pissed off at your friends, but it takes a whole lot less time to do it. So, you know, it's fun though. I would definitely recommend Orange Juice. They should port that to like consoles or something. Orange Juice is great.
Ooh.
Yeah, for my single player answer, I mean, yeah, like I mentioned, like just any JRPG I probably need to finish on the background. But also, like, if you give me a Sims game, I'm gonna sit there till like 4 a.m. Like my time will pass really wastefully. Like any kind of simulator game, like a tycoon, like I will just sit there, like and the clock will want, you know, it's so bad. It's so deeply unproductive. Yet here I am, like just sitting there trying to build a family and making sure things don't. I actually don't try to cause chaos in The Sims, but it happens anyway. I try to make a stable human being.
You're just like trying to have a serious game, and the vampire jumps in.
Yeah, right, exactly, and then. Or they just piss themselves, and it's like great, Anyway, in terms of like a multiplayer game, this is like a ripe time to for people who don't play video games. Like, if you have a friend who doesn't play video games, this is a ripe time to like introduce them to one, or like or if they're over, like if you guys live near each other and it's like safe to like could just walk over, like it's if it's not too big of a difference, you can go over to your friend's place and like hang out. Like something like Tabletop Simulator is like a cute little thing. I think you can introduce people to like who don't play video games, because it literally is just like a board game in VR form. There's tons of like packs of like licensed board games you can install in the Steam Workshop, and I think like you don't need. I don't remember. It's been a while since I popped that thing open, but I don't think you need like a copy of your own. I think the host just needs a copy. But nonetheless, from what I remember, if you buy, there was something where I got it because someone bought a copy, and it comes with 4 extra copies for free. Like, it's insane. But yeah, that's just like a fun little thing where like, oh yeah, VR board games or other nonsense. I'm sure there's like other crazy things. Like there was some really depressing one where it's like VR pizza party. I think that's what it was. Yeah, stuff like that. And again, like something like I brought that up earlier. Like Minecraft is like kind of an accessible thing, I think too. Like if you never played video games, it's just like a fun little immersive thing where you can explore this wild cube place with people. Yeah, it's just a nice ripe time where I think if you have something like, again, I like kind of board game adjacent, like 100% orange juice. It's like a nice thing you can introduce to people who don't play video games, and it's not intimidating or too complicated to think about.
That's a really great suggestion, LV.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, I guess a weird way of answering this question is after I'm done with playing AI the Somnium Files, which has been a trip and a half.
It is a trip and a half.
Oh my.
It's a trip in 2 halves.
Shit.
Almost a whole.
Yeah.
After that, I'm planning on doing a lot of Dreams, Media Molecules game Dreams, which I guess is inherently over 30 hours long.
Yeah.
And I guess is something you play online with friends.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of answers that question, but also it's just something where it's like, I want to make stuff, Having some time to actually like sit down and craft something just sounds really nice right now.
Yeah, this does sound very nice. All right, I think that should do it for the show this week. Good going, everybody.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
So, of course, we got to do the general rundown. We got the Twitter account at VGCC. We got the Tumblr, videogamechuchu.tumblr.com. Been posting a lot of stuff recently. Of course, Tristan wrote his first review, so congrats to Tristan. We got the Under Night review up. I don't think we mentioned it last week, but Walker also posted his, well, it wasn't his first review, but one of his reviews of the Azure Lane game, which that was a pretty interesting read. If you're interested in that, that's up there. Of course, we have our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/VGCC. You can get stuff like the Sekiro Let's Play that Solon, you're on.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going lately, by the way? I guess I should ask.
Well,
should I have not asked?
Every day is a new adventure with Scott.
Yeah, you're telling me. As someone who was on that Neo stream.
Wish I had been able to join.
He guides me on I'm learning a lot about Sekiro. Or, well, okay, maybe not that.
Sekiro, yeah.
But I am learning a lot about anatomy.
Things. About life.
Yeah.
Anatomy? Oh.
We also have the Spyro Let's Play, which there are 2 episodes left. We have a month's worth of I guess we have 2 more updates left. The second to last, or the second to last update is going to be out by the time you hear this. On Patreon. So you're going to go to patreon.com/VGCC, give us $3, and you can get access to that a whole week early. You can watch the end of Spyro. And then we're going to be moving on to something new. I don't know when exactly, but We're going to be moving on to something new after that. But for now, please enjoy Spyro. We loved making this, and it was so much fun to play Spyro again for like the 100th time. So happy to do that. And also, don't forget, we also have Chuchigatari Unlimited Train Works, our anime podcast that me, LV, and Rose are on. LV, how are you feeling about Chuchigatari? How's anime treating you, just real quick?
So shockingly nice this season, I would say. Yeah. We're kind of, this anime season's kind of ending. We're entering, is it the spring, so to speak? Yeah, spring season? Yeah, spring adjacent season.
It's a transitory time, but it's exciting.
It's a transitory time. Yeah, so I don't trust the next season to be as kind as it has been.
Yeah.
So we might be in for a ride. Well, we already are on the ride, but the anime ride.
We're on the Chuchigatari ride, as always.
There are no stops on this train.
Mm-hmm. In the next episode that we're releasing for Chuchigatari, we are going to be reviewing Violet Evergarden. So get on that if you're interested to hear our takes on that show. And also, the GameZone.zone, type that into your web browser. That'll bring you to the Discord server. You can hang out with us. We're in there always posting dumb shit. We're hanging out in voice chat. We're doing all kinds of shit. It's a great time. And last but not least, thank you to Magic Circuit / Melt Channel for our theme song Crushed off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their old stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com, or you can listen to the new stuff, which is Magic Circuit on Spotify. They have really great stuff. I promise I'm not just saying that. It's really fun music. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of Melt Channel. I'm a really big fan. I've always been a fan of Melt Channel. When they said that we could do that, I was legit hyped. Like, it was so cool that, like, our theme song is a Melt Channel song. That is super cool. So, yes, thank you again to them, and thank you so much for listening. Stay safe out there. Keep your hands washed. Think about other people. Help someone who isn't you as much as you can. That is the most important thing to do these days. And I guess that should do it. Do you all want to plug anything? I'm sorry. Here, I'll go one by one. Chris, is there anything you want to plug?
You can find me at Judgment Scythe on Twitter, and you can find the cool artwork that my girlfriend does at goodwalrusgoods.com.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great name.
Go support them.
Yeah.
You like adorable Mexican-themed sweetbread friends like Sanrio characters.
Ooh.
It's wonderful. And magical girls. And
Sure.
Pokemon.
Oh, LV, how about you?
Me, I don't have much to say. I think Johnny put it nicely. Just be kind of, don't be nasty. Don't be nasty out there. It's not a time to be nasty to anyone.
In many ways, don't be nasty.
Mm-hmm. Literally, especially. Please don't. Mm-hmm. You use that soap thoroughly. It's not just water. You need soap, please. Some people need that reminder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need the soap.
You don't want to plug anything?
No. Not in particular coming to mind.
Okay, that's no problem.
Yeah.
Solon, how about you?
Hey, if you go to twitter.com/SolanFace, in about a week, my students club will be over, and I will be able to announce and show off all of the games that my students they've spent all year making these video games on Twine, and I'll be able to show them to everybody in a week.
Sounds good.
Yep.
And you can find me at JOHN_MICHONSKI. That's my name, John Machonsky, with the underscore, because I got banned off of Twitter one time. And of course, just keep checking out Chooch, because that's kind of the thing. So thank you so much, everybody, for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. So long.